Good morning, realist. Good morning. Good morning, everybody that's coming in the chat. It's Thursday morning, and something touched something touched me the past couple of days, really, but I didn't really want to just touch it. But it seems to be that the conversation needs to be had because there's a lot going on within the realms of the world, and of course here on YouTube, right? So bear with me for a second as I'm looking into my Bible real quick, and I'm just gonna read this out loud. This is I'm reading from Genesis 25, verses 31 to 34, right? Matter of fact, 29. And I'll read. It says, Jacob saw the pottage, and Esau came in from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and he rose up and went away. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Right? So pretty much what's going on in that scripture. Teachers, good morning. So what's really going on in this thing is people are doing so much, to maintain themselves in within this world, right? We go to work, we do 9 to 5s. Some of us got different hourly shifts. Some of us take on 2 jobs and 3 jobs, and we are just giving ourselves to the jobs, to the money, to provide for our families, to keep a roof over our head, and things of that nature. But now we're getting to the point that we're just giving ourselves, when it comes to YouTube, we give ourselves so much that we are like, we are giving ourselves away to people that don't deserve what we have to offer. Okay. You know, we come on here. Well, I come on here and I'm willing to help any and everybody, right? I'm willing to give and give and give and give, you know, and I hopefully am being productive and helping somebody. But there are people out here who are willing for you to just give your all to where you have nothing to give. In this story, this man comes in, Esau comes in so hungry. He's like, listen, I don't even care about what I have, what my rights are, my birthright, what my gifts are, what was given unto me naturally, as far as the spirituality of life. I'm willing to sell that just to have mere bread and lentil and beans and bread, pretty much, right? And we have to understand that we are worth more than beans and bread. We are worth more than the problems that are being conflicted or added to our plates just because we are good people in this life. We are so willing to help the whole world that we forget ourselves. You know, the Bible says, what does it do for you to gain the whole world and lose your soul? That is like losing your birthright. Good morning, Cheeky. You lose your birthright because you're so willing to give yourself, but you're pouring out and no one is really pouring back into you, right? And then you get to a point and like, you know what? I need to step down. I need to step away from this YouTube atmosphere. I need to step away from these YouTube streets, all because you feel like people are taking advantage of you. People are manipulating your kindness and trying to turn it into a weakness. Some people will make it seem like you are so heavily bound that you're no earthly good. And we don't even have the power to put people in heaven or hell. But we feel like there are people trying to take our birthright. Our birthright is pretty simple. It's whatever gift that God gives you, you are supposed to use it to your advantage. That is the divine will of mankind, meaning that is what we're supposed to do in our God-like attributes. That's the story for tomorrow, right? But we are doing so much that some of us are willing to sell our birthright just to please people. We don't have the time to sit there and worry about pleasing everybody. Our job is to drop the plant the seed and allow it to grow. We must water it. We must give it light. But we get in our way sometimes because we stand there and say, you know what? We need to cover it. It may be too hot. Or this person is doing so bad, we need to worry about their feelings. I'm here to tell you that sometimes it's okay for you to take care of yourself. It's okay for you to be selfish with yourself, because if you're not, you will be giving your birthright away and not even know that you're giving your gifts away at the same time. It is so crazy that it gets to that point in life that, you know, you say, hey, what am I doing here? Why am I putting myself through this agony and this grief and all of these things? Why am I doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like you feel like you get so wrapped up into some people, into some situations that you get hurt and harmed behind it. Hold on 1 second, guys. Somebody seems to be wanting to interrupt my story or my message here. So give me 1 second, y'all. One second, please. 1 second. 1 second. I'm back. Forgive me. Yeah, I just gotta. That was funny, but I'll explain that in a minute. But anyway, we have we wrap ourselves in so many other people's, their thoughts and their feelings that we forget ourselves sometimes. Sometimes we forget the mission that we're supposed to be on, you know. But we also have to understand that it is about us, because without you, your message can't be delivered. Without you, your gifts can't be seen. Your gifts can't be seen, not everybody else's. It's about you at this particular point in time, Good morning, CC. And I'm saying that just to say, sometimes we give away our birthright for the morsels of the world. What are the morsels of the world that I'm talking about? Somebody else's respect, somebody else's liking, somebody else's feelings. And sometimes their feelings aren't even authentic, or it's not even valid. It's not even real how some people give us. Scorpio Mama, good morning. It's not even real what they're giving us in return of us sharing our birthright and our gifts. We get so many fake people around us that, some people just want to ride your coattail into a victory, ride your coattail out of their miserable situations, right? They ride your coattail so they can get out of their darkness and into your light. There are a lot of miserable people out here, but it's so many of us that want the best for everybody. Okay, Cece, we want the best for so many people that we forget that their situation may be of their own doing, right? Like, for example, if you make a bad investment into a business that you think is good and it doesn't work out, that does not mean that we all have to turn around and pick you up out of your doldrums. I mean, it shows concern, but our job is not to re-elevate you. We are just supposed to put you on a right track in order to get where you need to go. But sometimes the kindness in our hearts and the genuine concern about a person will allow us to do more than what we're supposed to do, And so with that birthright of the generosity of our hearts and our time and our minds, sometimes we give it to people that aren't worthy of the gift. You know what I mean? And in this particular story of Jacob and Esau, he was doing so much. He was doing what he needed to do, right? He did it so much that the man was literally starving himself, right? Sometimes we starve ourselves of the information to grow. Sometimes we starve ourselves of the things that we need to do to elevate ourselves to our greatest potential in ourselves. And so when we do that, we are willing to say, you know what? We need to stop what we're doing and get what we need from the world. Meaning we're gonna stop what we're doing and then turn around and say, you know what? I'm willing to give up whatever. I'm ready to stop what I'm doing just because I want the things of the world. It's okay to have some things of the world, but don't make it your God, right? Don't make it the end all be all, right? Because at the end of the day, we are here to live. We are here to live in the world, but not really to be of it, right? I want everybody to understand that you can have things in abundance, right? And if riches is added unto you, then that's a great thing. But the fact that you are using your gift is the divine thing to do in the first place. Use your birth. If you're using your birthright, it's supposed to be for your advantage and your advantage alone, not to be that much of a beacon of light that everybody gets to come around and stand in your light. Some people are only supposed to be here for a season, but we allow people to stand there because of our genuine heart, and they come and kind of steal from us. It's really crazy how we allow people to just sit there and not even add to us, but they're they're in their minds turning around and say, you know what, I'm gonna sit here and soak all of these rays up and become become this person that I'm stealing from. And that's one of the things that we have to. Good morning, Diane. That's one of the things that we have to really be careful of when we share our, share our gifts, our birthrights, right? Because everybody has one. Now, if you don't know how to tap into your thing, that's because you don't take the time to search yourself. That's because you are not looking into your storehouse to know exactly what your gift is. And if you don't know what your gift is, then you just wandering in the wilderness longer than 40 years for some people, because there's people on here that's 40 and 50 that loves chaos. Their piece is chaos. And some of us, our birthright alone is to be in peace. But now we're being broken into pieces because there are people that's willing to just stand there and soak away all of our birthright because we are so willing to give it to people, right? The morsels of the world is the fact that we want people to like us. It's nothing wrong with that, but when you turn that into a end all be all, like I want the whole world to like me, then it's just something, about, and I'm one of them type of people, right? I want the world to like me a lot, right? Because I try to do the things that make sense, and I'm willing to help people. I'm willing to help people only because there are people that I truly know and see that needs help. But when they take advantage of the help, that is a me problem. That is where I have to observe myself and say, wait a minute, you don't see what's going on? And then sometimes you fight your own self, trying to keep your gifts, trying to keep your birthright. It's a fight that's going to happen within each and every one of us. Like, yo, you know what? Excuse me, that somebody don't deserve it. And then you say, you know what? Some people need it. So that's the fight that we have inside of us, a lot of us, right? And being that good person that we naturally are, or as our birthright, sometimes we fight ourselves to the point to where we just say, you know what? Let them have it. But that's not what we're supposed to do, right? Sometimes we need to let them have it just so we can get away from the person, get away from the opposition. Cheeky says, I'm not for everybody. I know that. I don't let that bother me. It's like, yeah, Cheeky, that's true. And like I truly believe in everything that you do, right? And the fact that there are people that that come after you, and then you have that, you don't have that problem with getting away. But there are some people that are just this holding on to you because they truly need you. And you've done everything that you can, but they don't want to let you go. So, we have to fight. We have to say, you know what? Enough is enough. We can't just, you can't just keep leaning on me for this, that, and the third. It's just the fact that, there are people out here that come into life with nothing. They really don't try to, they strive for something and don't make their results even met. They don't even get to that thing, right? So you have to understand there's going to be people clinging on to you. And, if I had the heart to say, you know what, let the dead bury the dead more than I do, then it wouldn't bother me as much. It's just the fact that, the kindness of a person could allow them to give away their birthright and not even understand that they're doing it, or not even see that they're doing it to a certain extent, right? Because there are just so many people ready to harvest your gift. They will harvest your gift and then turn around and come back. That's the funny part, even in this story of Jacob and Esau, right? So he got fed, he ate and everything like that. And then we have to be careful, because even going on into everyday life, once that person gets that gift, they're gonna want more of it, right? They're gonna want to do any and everything just to steal said gift, right? What did Scorpio Mama say? But content creators can cuss all they want, make it make sense. I mean, there are people that go about two different avenues, Scorpio, right? There's people that want to make a mark on the right hand side, and there are people that want to make the mark on the left hand side. That's everybody's decision trying to figure it out, right? But at the end of the day, you got to understand what your mark in the world is going to be. You have to understand what your gift is. You have to understand what your birthright is within this world. Either you're going to make a difference or you're going to become a difference, right? And those are the two things. Uncle El, good morning. Those are the two things that we have to understand. We either going to be the right hand side of our gift, which is to be a difference, or the left hand side is to make a difference, or not to make a difference. Meaning we could add to the chaos, or we can bring peace to a situation, or we can bring peace into somebody's life. That is up to the individual of how they use their gift in their birthright, right? You know, it's so many stories in the Bible that where people just give up their birthright. There's, you know, the switching up the birthright. But there are some people that is willing to steal your birthright. So right now in the story that I just read about Jacob and Esau, he gave away his birthright for some food, right? He gave it like, I can always get it back. But we got to understand that there's someone always lurking. Once you give them a taste of success, they want that success for themselves, and they will do any and everything to get it, including take you down, steal your gift. There are people willing to kill you for your gift. You understand? Like, not even if it's not physically, you can assassinate somebody's character and steal their gift. And now that once humble person can become a ravaged, a raven savage, because now he don't have or she don't have the gift that was given to them because they gave it, or a person manipulated themselves to take what wasn't theirs in the first place. So we have to be careful of what we're doing, whether it's on YouTube or in real life, because there are people ready to harvest your birthright, harvest your gift, and take it from you and use it for themselves, even if it ain't for the right reasons. Even if it is for the right reasons, it's not theirs to take. But there are people willing to try to take your birthright, take your gifts, and leave you as a shell of yourself. You know, and that's the sad part about this whole scenario, right? Because even if you stop and look at the story, right, to where a man or a woman will perpetrate you yourself in the physical as a physical being will try to literally mock you to steal your gift, to get the blessing that's not really for them. There are people willing to do that. They will try to make it their own. You're correct, Diane. You're right. Because there are people that already sees the gift that God has in store for you, the blessing that's getting ready to be blossomed or get ready to bear fruit. They're willing to take it just because you did all the work. You did all the work, so they're willing to take it just because I didn't have to do the work. There are thieves out here. There are spiritual thieves. Ron's good morning. There are spiritual thieves. There are physical thieves. There are emotional thieves. There are people that will really just take from you and not give two poops about what they leave for you. There are people like that. There are people that will come into your life that will say, you know what? This person got so much of a blessing. I'm willing to drain his ass dry. Excuse my language. But I'm willing to drain him dry and leave that person with nothing or her with nothing. There are people out here that are jealous of certain people out here, willing to just take all and leave you with nothing, bare minimum, just breath of life. You go figure it out. That's what they're coming to do when they steal your birthright. You figure it out, right? And there are people that are out here, you know, trying to, you know, do the best that they can to make sure it don't happen. But sometimes it happens because we keep allowing these people in our lives. We keep, well, this person needs us. This man needs the help. This woman needs the help. No, they need to help themselves get to where they need to go. It doesn't mean that we become their crutch. We should not be a crutch for people. We should be a beacon of light. So that way you can see where you're going. That don't mean you disabled, lean on my shoulder, I can get you all the way through. And meanwhile, you digging in my pockets because you leaning on me and stealing my loot, whatever the loot is. Right, Diane? People are out here really want to steal your identity. What identity are we talking about? Not the physical one, because it's not about the physical sometimes. It's just about the gift, the birthright that you are given, and people are willing to steal it. people are willing to take it just because you did the work. I don't got to do it. It's just like when people listen, fellas, y'all know what I'm about to talk about. It's just like a stick-up kid, right? The stick-up kid is going to stick the person up that did their work and got the money in their pocket to prove that they did the work. All they got to do is pull that hammer out and say, yo, run that. And now they just took all of your gifts, all of your hard work, all of your efforts, and left you with nothing. And now you sitting there worrying about, damn, how I'm going to pay the rent. Damn, how I'm going to pay my mortgage. Damn, I'm going to pay my light bill. My kids are hungry. They might have to starve now. All because they took all of your work effort, all of your 1 week or 2 week effort, right? There are people out here that's want the fast way. The fast way ain't the right way. You know what I mean? People don't want to do 9 to 5. That's what the corner boys are there for. They don't want to do the 9 to 5. That fast money is easy money for them. And they're not worried about the consequences of being caught sometimes. All right, I can do the time. Only when it's deep down, when they're in trouble, they turn around and say, damn, let me call my mama. Damn, let me call the people in the streets. And then now they understand that when they're gone, they're going to be out of sight, out of mind. All because they don't want to get up and use their birthright, their gifts. They just want the easy way out. While, sad people are out here trying to give messages, trying to be an encouragement, trying to be the beacon of light that they are supposed to be. And people still want to they want to eclipse their light. They want to steal the light that they get. No, stop doing that. So many times, man-made events is overshadowing the gift, that the naturality that God has given us, that nature is trying to present to us, all because they want to manipulate the gift that nature has in store for us. And that's what some of us do in real life. We tamper with certain people's gifts so that way we can harvest it and make it our own and do what we want to do with it. And that's crazy. More often, that's corny, because it's just the sucker way out. Excuse me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, no, enough is enough. We have to understand that we can't keep giving our birthright for the people of the world, right? Because there are so many people that don't even want it. They'll just take it. They'll get in line for seconds and thirds of the gift and not even use it for the right reasons. And then in the meantime, we giving away and we still missing the person that actually needs it, because we're spending time on the people that keep coming back and faking the funk that they want to use the gift that we're giving them in the right format, and only just using it just because they don't want nobody else to have it. That's a corny thing to do, but there are people doing that. And it's sad, but it's true. You understand? So we giving ourselves up, to be not people pleasers, but to help people that don't want the help. That's the morsel of the world. There are so many people sitting there who just want to give, just want to take, and don't want to reciprocate the giving. And in the meantime, we're just losing ourselves for the fact of trying to help this person or these people, and they're not even willing to take advantage of the help. They're just hoarding your gift. They're hoarding your birthright just so nobody else can get it. We have to understand that there's a time to give and there's a time to not give. There's a time to stand tall and there's a time to walk away. It's a time to fight the battle and there's a time not to fight the battle. We have to understand that we are more important for other people than just an individual. And sometimes it's not taking a loss. It's just like, we just have to understand that there's more to our assignment. If you look at that thing as a loss that you gathered during the situation, then I'm not apologizing for you. I'm just saying that it's a battle. We can't win every battle, right? The goal is to win the war, right? We got a long race ahead of us. We got so many people to give our gifts to that we can't just focus on this set of people on the right hand side that don't want to get up and get their own gifts, and that's the thing that we have to understand, but like I said, we got to be careful, because even in the Jacob and Esau story, right, Jacob felt that gift. He had a taste of the gift of the blessing that was ahead to come. So he literally turned around, became Esau, and tricked the daddy into stealing the blessing that was for his brother. That's what a lot of us do in real well. That's what happens to a lot of us in real life. A lot of us sit there, we allow people to be around us. They study us. They dang, this person really know how to speak to people, or dang, this girl really know how to speak from her heart, or dang, they know how to touch people in a way that I can't. I want that for myself. And then they imitate you. They put the facade of you in the motion. Like, look, that's a student of blase blah. That's a student of sister so and so. So now that they believe that person is following you, they begin to get the gifts that belongs to you, and they get to harvest it for themselves. We got to understand that not everybody with us is for us. Not everybody ready to roll with us is really rolling with us. They're rolling for themselves. It's like a person that say, yo, I'll take a trip with you only because they want to just see where you're going. And then come back and say, well, I did see such and such. I know how to use that now because I watched the person while we was there. I know how to do this now. And then turn around and do it for themselves. It's okay for somebody to learn from you. It's another thing for somebody to harvest said gifts that you put on display and then say, well, I did this all by myself. And that's not the way that this goes in life. We steal somebody's birthright, not just to, there's people stealing birthright just because they don't want to do the work. And then we're thinking we're doing the right thing for people in the world instead of not, dang, they're just the mere shell of themselves. They don't really want what I have. They just want to manipulate what I have. And that's the thing that we do. We take our birthright for the morsel of the world. The morsel of the world is the people that don't give a damn about what your mission in life is. They only want your goal, your birthright just for themselves. You could be the whole beacon of light for a whole community, but they want you to sit in their house during a blackout. You understand what I'm saying to you? There's people that just want your light just for themselves instead of it being where it needs to be. You are a son of a community, but they want you to be a 40-watt bulb in their house only. We got to understand that there are people that is not willing to share your gifts. They only want to be around you for the morsels of the gifts, right? It's just like when Jesus was traveling around, there's only people around him for his gifts and what he gets in return. That's why Judas said, you know what? I'm not feeling this. You wasting this oil on this man, and we could have made money off of it. You just being there for the blessing that you truly are that's your birthright, but somebody else is looking at you as a dollar sign. And they're not even making sense of what the true dollar is. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way people are in the world. So we have to stop giving up our birthright for other people's attributes. We got to be who we are. And if that's who we are, we got to continue to be who we are. We got to continue to be that beacon of light that's standing there and everybody can see it. And if we got to break away from people, then so be it. They're not willing to understand what your gift is. They got to be pushed to the side. We have to elevate. That's what gifted people do. We elevate. That's what positive people do. If that's what you want to call yourself, we elevate above the muddy soils of hatred. We rise above certain attributes that keep us down. We break the yokes of certain people, and certain people will get mad. They'll try to put a ball on your ankle and make you sink. No, we're gonna break that regardless. But we have to understand that not everybody around us is for us. Not everybody here is for our blessing, but can be our detriment and can be a stagnation into the goals that we have ahead of us. We have to really get that understanding. I don't care how much good of a person, I don't care how much good a person you could see in that person. If they don't see it in themselves, they're gonna hold on to your ankle so you don't budge a bit. Oh, don't leave me. Oh my God, you are my everything, but you don't appreciate my everything when it's when it's on display. Good morning, Miss T. We sit there and allow people, to just soak up everything. And like I said, and that's a hindrance to our everyday life, because our birthright is to be a beacon of light, and you want to be that dark cloud. You want to be the pig pen to my Charlie Brown, right? You dirtying up our Linus's little blanket because your dirty self want to be around just stealing the cleanness of what I have to display for people. You want to muddy it up, and it's supposed to be clean out the laundry. You understand what I'm saying? That's the way people are. But we have to understand that there are people that don't want your birthright for the right reasons. There are people that don't want to see you be a blessing for a wrong reason. And when that occurs, we have to find a way to get away from said people. And it's crazy because at the end of the day, we have to turn around and say, you know what? Am I really doing my best? That's why sometimes we have to examine ourselves. That's why we have to really understand that there are people in our lives not meant for our good. We want everybody to receive the good, but there are people that don't give a damn about the good that we do. We have people that's in the background saying, you know what? I'm going to pray for your downfall. Instead of helping me elevate, you praying for my downfall. You are upset because I am becoming an occasion that people are going to have to rise to, but you want me to be the person that people get to step on because you don't have a hand in my birthright. You don't have a hand in my gift. You soaked in my gift for so long that now you think you deserve everything that I get. Tricks are for kids. That's not what we're doing here. And now we have to say, you know what? I cannot give this person no more of my strength. I cannot give this person no more of my joy. I cannot give this person no more of my love, because that is the birthright that we have. We have the right to do what we want to do with whatever gift that God has given us and has allowed us to put on display. It's not up to that person to decide what we want to do. It's not up to that person to decide, yo, I don't think that person to decide. Who the hell are you to tell me what to do with what's mine? It's mine. You can't tell me what to do with my gift. You can't tell me what to do with my blessing. It's mine. You can make a suggestion, but you trying to indoctrinate it and force it into another attribute. Stay away from me, devil. Be gone. And now you're going to have people trying to make your complexion of your skin, try to make your voice their voice, try to make their mind, your mind, their mind. There's people that really want to steal a blessing that was given, that's for you, and then want to use it for whatever reason that they want to use it. And then you get the lesser blessing that, like I said, which will be probably tomorrow, they will to turn your divine blessing into a permissive blessing. It ain't something that didn't belong to you. We all deserve divineness, but we end up in permissiveness because there's somebody trying to steal your divinity in the first place. There's someone willing to stop your blessing just so you can get the end of the sun rays, and you are the total sun. And that's the thing that we have to understand. It sucks. Yes, it sucks. Does it hurt that we're leaving people behind? Yes. It does not mean you don't love them. It just means that you have to love them with a long handled spoon. You have to love said person from a distance. It doesn't mean that you're less of a person. Excuse me. It just means that they're more of a hindrance than a blessing. And if you're not helping them, you have to fall back. If you can see that you're hurting a person because you're being the best you're gonna have to step away for a little bit until they can understand. If they don't understand, you did your best. Now allow God to do the rest. Let God handle that individual. Let God handle that person to where they can elevate, and then hopefully you can see each other down the road. You can see that they can have their own success on their own. But if they're leaning on you to do the work, they will never be successful because they're riding your birthright. They're riding your coattail. And while they're looking for the morsels of the world, we're giving it to the people of we're feeding them morsels. And we're losing our birthright at the same time. Everybody, Diane says, everybody wants something from you. And that could be, that's more times than not true. But what is it that they want? Some people want to see you succeed. Some people just want to steal your blessing. Right? And that's just the way this thing goes. And it sucks because there are people that just, they can see your light. They can know that your light is for the greatness of everybody else because that's your birthright. But they say, damn it, I don't want it. I want it for me. I want it for myself. I want it for my growth. That's why wars are fought, because there's blessings in countries that people don't have, and they're willing to harvest it for themselves. They will destroy people. They will destroy lives just to get the blessing from something that never was theirs in the first place. So we have to protect our birthright. We have to protect our blessing with everything that we got, every fiber of our being. We have to do that. We have to. Thank you, Willis, for doing the links for those people that can't do it for themselves this morning. And that's just the way that it is. People are out here trying to make it their own. People are trying to do these things just so they can stop you from being a blessing. Some get it out of the mud, but me, I had to break through the concrete. And you and Diane, that's the crazy part, because even when you plant the seed in the concrete, we're not expected to grow, right? We're not supposed to develop out of the concrete, but we have to understand that sometimes we can be an exception to the rule. There are exceptions to rules, right? 9 times out of 10, it may be right, but you could be the one that breaks. You could be the one that could be the exception to the rule, right? And that's what we have to understand too. That even though we're meant to be positive, there are people that is really trying to stop our progress. We may say, you know what, they can't stop it, but they sure can stagnate it. And we know that stagnation kills dreams. It can slow the process down. That one thing that come out of that concrete could be the best thing that could happen to somebody, but it can also be the weed that tripped you up. You know what I mean? It all depends on the individual. We gotta try the spirit and see if the spirit is of a godlike entity or is it of a negative entity. We have to understand that. You know what I mean? Like, we really truly gotta understand. What you can, like, what people feel like they can use your gift better than you. That's what you meant, Diane, by what you can do, I can do better. If that is, there are plenty of people that I can use his gift. If I only had his gift, if I only had her gift, if I only had her blessing, if I only had his blessing. You don't. So that don't mean you get to go and steal it. That's why people don't want to come out and be themselves sometimes, because they're so afraid that somebody's going to steal it. And then you got people that don't even care that they're stealing it from you. Your blessing, your birthright, So, it's just the sadness of the things that we have to go through in this life. It's just so many people that need you, but there's always that one that want to hold you back from getting to the goal that you have set for yourself. You wrote your vision, you made it plain, you used the birthright, you allowed it to be the best thing that you could possibly have in your life. But somebody is a hater, and somebody's going to sit there and say, you know what? I'm blocking your shine. Let me throw some mud on your name. Oh, such and such is a piece of trash. This is what they do to people. They set you up and then leave you out there to dry. No, that's not what that person did. That person allowed you to get to the main road so you can get on your highway to your destination. And instead of you getting on the highway, you're begging them to get you, to take you all the way there. That's not what we're supposed to do. Help teach one. That's what we're supposed to do. If your blessing is to be a teacher, you teach that person so they can become great. It doesn't mean that they got to sit there and hold your hand all the way through your lessons. No, you got to go through your lessons. They went through their lessons. Their blessings is there because they went through this. They went through their testimonies already. That doesn't mean they got to go through it with you. No, I'll see. I could be on the other side waiting for you to get through the finish line. You got to be strong enough. You can't be just so fast that you think everything's going to happen overnight. That's why the saying, the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but to those who endure. That's exactly what that means. You got to endure something. You can't be afraid to say, you know what? I need you to help me across the street, and there ain't no car coming. You can make it, but you so afraid of it. Trauma's a mother father, right? Trauma will keep you stuck where you at. And because you see that person willing to help you get through your trauma, it doesn't mean they're supposed to carry you through it. They're supposed to be a supporter, not a cane, not crutches. We're not a crutch. We're supposed to get somebody there. We're supposed to show you the way. If you are doing Christ-like things, you are the way, the truth, and the light. That doesn't mean I get to carry you through it. It means I give you your portion, and you go ahead and make that portion grow. You got to expand the portion that I've given you. I'm not giving you all of my portion for what? So I could be left to dry, because you're not going to remember me when you steal my blessing. You're not going to remember me when you steal the birthright. And what you going to do as soon as you see the person, just like Jacob, he got the blessing. He knew he was dead wrong, and he was hiding from his brother for many, many years, thinking that his brother was going to kill him. And then turn around. The brother said, nah, dog, I still love you. I still love you in spite of the bull crap that you pulled on me. Despite that you pulled the blessing. Some of us are so blessed that we can give the blessing and allow another blessing to come to us. It doesn't mean that we should do it. It just means that we are blessed in that format. We are blessed in that fashion that, you can steal the blessing. But when I get my hands on another one, I'm going to make that prosper too. You stole a blessing. You better use it well, because my blessing is going to work in my favor regardless, if it's that blessing or another one. So don't just keep riding. Don't let people just ride with you because they can't do for themselves. We got to understand we're that blessed that a blessing could come after another blessing. Let them have it. You go ahead and do your thing. I'm still going to be blessed. I'm still going to be victorious. I am never going to be a victim. I'm going to be victorious over whatever spell that you have against me. Those are the things that we have to talk about. Those are the things that we have to see. We have to see greatness in ourselves. Just because, we can help people, we can't allow that to stop our greatness. You undid everything you can for that person. You got them across the street. You can't stop and wait for them to get home. You got to go on your path. They got to go on theirs. And even if they steal that birthright, you got to understand that you are so blessed that another blessing will come. You have another birthright inside of you. That's why you are a storehouse. Each and every one of us here is a storehouse. Miss T, you're a storehouse. Chiki, you a storehouse. Diane, you a storehouse. Scorpio Mama, you a storehouse. Whether you understand it or not, you have things and gifts that's inside of you, and somebody, even if they take it, you still have something else inside of you to make you prosper. You have an abundance of gifts. Shay Love, good morning or good afternoon now. But you have that gift inside of you. There are many people that is willing to steal your birthright. But you got to understand that there are more blessings than just one inside of you. Like I said, even though Jacob did all of that, he put feathers on his body. He undid everything to be Esau to get the blessing. And the blessing was not for Jacob. He tricked his way into a blessing. We got to watch those tricksters in our lives. We got to watch the devils in sheep clothing. We got to watch those sides of the heavenly people that's rolling around us, right? We got to understand that people are willing to steal the birthright that's not yours. So when Jacob did these things, he did it and got the blessing. Esau was mad, but he wasn't mad enough to kill him. He He was happy enough to forgive him. He was blessed enough to forgive that, hey, you stole my birthright. I'm not here to kill you. I'm still going to love you in spite of. Sometimes our birthright is just to kill people with kindness that meant harm for us, that meant wrong for us. That's some of that could be part of your birthright, to kill people with kindness, to kill people with the love that they don't have for you. And even if you try, you just leave it out there. They're gonna pick it up and try to use it again. But that's their problem. That's not your problem. We have to understand that whatever birthright that God has given us, right? It will come back and be harvested in your favor regardless. It don't matter if they take it and manipulate it. It don't matter if somebody take this message and manipulate it. That message is going to be received by somebody. Well, that ain't what he meant. No, what you take it as is what you meant it for you to be in your life. The simple fact that somebody might say, you know what, he gave me, this message was for me to steal somebody's birthright. I'm saying somebody else might take it, you know what, somebody may steal my birthright, but I have more blessings inside of me that birthright, I can still, it'll still work in my favor. You understand? It's what they perceive of it. You know what you have. Some people want what you want what you have. They may use it for the wrong reason, but even if you don't possess it in your hand, you still could possess it in your soul, in your spirit, and they can't take that from you. They can steal a portion. They can steal maybe half of your ideas, but they can't steal you. You're the birthright. You're the gift. You're the blessing. They can steal the idea, but you're the blessing. You're the birthright, right? You got to understand that you are important. You have to understand that your goal is your goal. Your destination is your destination. We don't have to hand it to somebody, or we don't have to allow somebody that's on the team to take pieces at a time. Because when they do that, they think they're gaining, but they're really losing. You're gaining and you're losing at the same time. You're gaining more of a blessing, but you're losing a friendship out of this thing. You're losing a relationship out of this thing. You might have loved this person like a brother or a sister, depending on what that person is in your life. You might lose that, but you're gaining the strength that, I did everything that I can to help them. They wanted me to do it all by myself. They wanted me to build their kingdom while they just sit there and watch. I am not in a dictatorship. I am an individual. I am a blessed individual. I am a divine individual. I am important to myself as well. But as long as we allow people to think that they're still in the birthright, or they are still in the birthright, we are holding ourselves up from our true destiny. And our destiny is to be our greatest self in this life. And it sucks and it may hurt and you may not want to see a person go down in flames. But guess what? At the end of the day, they did that to themselves. They stole a joy that wasn't given to them. They stole a gift that was not meant for them. And all you can do is be like Esau and say, you know what, bro? I love you in spite of you taking from me. I'm still going to be great in spite of, I'm going to make what I have with what I have left in my life. Because the birthright is always for us to be our greatest self. And as long as we keep allowing the morsels of the world to get in the way, we could never reach our greatness. And so, with that being said, people are just so, it's just so sad that people will really want your downfall instead of your uprising. People would rather you people would rather you not be the occasion that they have to rise to. They would rather step on you. It sucks and it's sad, but there are haters in this world. While you are being a light, they want to eclipse your light. And that's the part that, we have to continuously fight, because our birthright is also to fight the demons that are that's trying to gain possession of us as well. We can be a light. Some of us are the light. Some of us are great. Some of us are striving for their greatness, but there's always somebody that want to be a hook to your ankle and slow you down. We can't allow the process to be slowed down. Continue to understand your birthright. Continue to allow the birthright to be groomed and arise in your life. Because as long as we continue to feed, as long as we keep trying to be the people pleaser that we are, the birthright will be choked. And so that is the what I have on that message. Don't give up your birthright for the morsels of the world. Don't give up your rights of being great just because somebody wants to give you a piece of bread. Don't let them stop your flow. Don't let them stop your path. Don't let them stop your greatness. And that's the thing that we have to avoid. Diane says, in their hearts, they know they cheated, and they don't even care that they're stopping you from becoming great. They just want your joy. They just want your effort. They want to harvest your gift for themselves, right? Cheeky says, I will help you help yourself. I won't do it for you. Take it or leave it. It's, Cheeky, we need, you just so great with your stance. Some of us need to take those stances with you, but some of us are so compassionate that we don't want to see people struggle. And that's a real truth. Excuse me. That's a real truth. We don't want to see people struggle. We want to help people, but it's like I said, some people just want to take your birthright and use it all for themselves. They want your kindness to get them over the top. No, you got to do your own work. Ignore the haters. Yeah, we got to try. We got to do better than what we're doing now, because sometimes we see the good in the hater, and the hater could be in plain sight, but we're trying to do the best that we can to ignore the hater and see the positive person that's inside of that hater, if that makes sense. Sometimes you don't know you giving it, sometimes we don't. And sometimes we think we're doing the right thing so much that we don't even see that it's draining us, and it's leaving us in a shell of ourselves, because we're so willing to give that birthright to a person that's unworthy of a blessing. You know what I mean? I said hey to Shay. I saw in everybody, and I run in to say, oh, I wish I could so, and it irks your nerve. You can't allow it to irk your nerve, Scorpio mama. You gotta be you. If that's what you do, that's what you do. The problem is some people, like I said, they come back for seconds and thirds and fourth and ain't even finished the first plate. It's like when you go to a buffet, your eyes are bigger than your stomach. You see all this food, you go sit down, you want to eat. You want to eat this, and then say, you know what, let me go try this. And then when you finish, your stomach is so blown, you get ready to go in your car to go home. You ready to let all of that stuff out. All because you was gluttonous for the information. You was gluttonous for that greatness. You was gluttonous for that glory. And then when you get it, you don't even appreciate what you got. There are some people like that. So it's okay for it to irk your nerve. But it's not okay if it deprives you or it stops you from being who you are. So those are the things that we have to understand. Like I said, realists, I thank you for dropping people's link that can't do it on this thing. Listen, I just want everybody to be great. I want everybody to understand that God is with them. God is what's inside of them. You understand that their greatness is inside of you. Your birthright is inside of you. He gave each and every one of us a birthright. You know what I'm saying? Each and every one of us, whether it's Bronze, whether it's Realist, whether it's Diane, whether it's Miss T, Shay, Cheeky, Cece, whoever is here, and whoever catches a replay, there is a greatness in you. We just have to understand that the ways of the world may be against your birthright. That don't mean that you got to stop and change the morsels of the world. You just got to be yourself and allow the birthright that you have to be received by those that are willing to receive it. It doesn't mean that you got to sit back and let somebody take from you all the time. No, somewhere down the line, you're going to say enough is enough, dust your shambles off and keep it moving. We can't just keep sitting there because that person don't want to get off if you made a lame person walk, right? There's no need for you to be a crutch. You allow them to walk. That's the purpose of being that blessing of that magnitude. You allow them to walk. You don't have to be that. They don't have to be that crutch for them no more. You have given them the seed. They have to do the planting. Even if you plant it, they gotta water it and be the light for that plant to blossom and to bud out into something that's great. You should not be holding their hands all the way through. This is not a swimming lesson. Oh, I'm gonna hold you up until you. No, even when you teach somebody to swim, you gotta let them go, and they gotta develop it themselves. You can't just allow people to just keep holding on to you for dear life. You can't have. It's like somebody growing off of your name. That's retarded. They growing off of your work. No, you gave them the seed for them to develop themselves. You allowed them to become a gardener. That don't mean you got to garden it for them. You taught them enough. Now they just want you to steal your entire identity just because they don't want to do it themselves. Enough is enough with that. It really, really is. Yeah, Cece says she's not for everybody. Yeah, really. Sometimes you gotta be. Some people need to be still and develop themselves, not for you to sit there and become that rock for them. You gotta be your own rock. You gotta set your own foundation. If you make a house, how you gonna steal my foundation to make your house? It's not built for your house sometimes, right? You gotta set your foundation. You gotta be able to stand on your own foundation. If you don't, then you in sinking sand. You know what I mean? Real Scorpio Mama said, I'm looking for peace. You seen him? Scorpio Mama, peace is within you. You know, nobody has a heaven and hell to put them in. They'll put you in. You gotta be the peace that you stand for, but you gotta also understand what peace are you looking for. Are you looking for the PEACE? Because some people are looking for the PIECE. You understand? A piece of your pie, a piece of your piece. You got to understand that there are people that don't want you to gain. They want you to be stagnant and possibly lose. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that we have to understand too. We got to understand that everybody that's with us ain't for us. You know what I mean? I just truly hope that people understand that, you are great. Your birthright is for each and every one of us to be the greatest of self as possible. And as long as there are people trying to throw you here, they're trying to fatten you up. They're trying to make you lazy so your birthright don't grow anymore. Your greatness doesn't grow. All because they're trying to give you the best food that they can cook. They could cook a mean fried chicken, right? But now if you turn vegan, they don't know how to cook vegan. Then that's your avenue to greatness. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we just got to find a way to get away from them people that is holding us back because they want to fatten us up to slay our birthright, to slay our blessings because we're so fat that we're not willing to strive for it anymore. You know what I mean? When you help, they have to take the initiative to continue on their own. And that's the point. Yeah, even you're right, Diane. Jacob and Esau was twins, and even in the womb, they was fighting from the womb. The fact that people believe that there's a competition when I'm not competing with somebody, that's a problem in itself. Esau never competed with Jacob, and that's the thing that people miss in the story. He never really competed with Jacob. Jacob was just jabbing him. Let me get your birthright. Oh, now that I got your birthright, word, what's happening? Esau was the one that, let me go on out there and do what I do. That's why his father loved him, because his father knew he was about his business. But Jacob was the one, he's too blessed. I need to tap into his blessing. Look, he waited for him to be at his weakest point and say, give me your blessing. And sometimes because we at a weak point in our life, we give our blessings to somebody that don't deserve our blessing. Meaning we're giving to somebody that don't even deserve our time, our energy, our strength, right? And then when he got the blessing, he said, damn, this is powerful. And then he wanted to become Esau in totality, just to receive a blessing that he never had any right to. He harvested He stole a blessing. He literally stole it. He went and put feathers. Listen, do you know how much work it takes to put on somebody else's clothes? Instead, if you was to take the time to be yourself, your blessing will be greater than the blessing that you're trying to steal. But people don't want to work like that. People want to just steal your blessing just because they don't want to do the work. And because they don't want to do the work, they're willing to take everything from you. They're willing to take your birthright. They're willing to take your greatness just because they don't want to see you victorious. They want you to be the victim. They play a victim and want you to be a victim so that way they can get every vote of the sympathy card. They can get everything that's come with a victim. They get blessings. They get to steal. They get swipe or don't swipe. You just took the words right out of my mouth, really. They swiping from you all because they don't want you to be great. That's the birthright that they know that you have for sure. You understand? And the fact of the matter is they don't want you to succeed. They want you to fail and will step on you just so you can see that they succeeded over you. They succeeded in assassinating you. They are killing your gift. They are trying to kill you spiritually. Even if they don't have a chance in hell, that don't mean they won't stop. They won't try. You know what I mean? So we have to be careful in the fact that, they are trying to fatten you up. They will fatten you up so much that they will slaughter you and make you a sacrifice. Not even make you a martyr. They will just make you a sacrifice. And knowing damn well that they did wrong and that sacrifice won't get blessed, they don't give a damn about that. The fact that they're winning is what their goal is. They want to win so bad, they will steal your birthright and kill you at the same time spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And that's the thing that we have to understand. Diane said, but he couldn't keep up the play. He didn't have the talent God had given his brother. And he didn't have that gift, right? But in the end of the day, that's why he had to fight. He had more fights than Esau. You don't hear about Esau fighting nobody else after this story. Esau still becomes great. Jacob is the one that has to continuously fight. He got to fight the angel in the wilderness. He got to fight this one. He got to fight that one. He got to fight his energy because he loses his son. There's so much that happens to Jacob, all because he stole a blessing. So you got to be careful if you do get your birthright stolen. The person that stole it gonna have to fight 99 more times more than you, and a blessing will still come to you, and you still will be great. That's what I get out of Esau and Jacob and Esau. Even though Jacob gets the blessing and the descendants come from him, it does not mean that you will not be great and your greatness will not affect somebody else. Let that person fight. You got it. You win. You stole my birthright. All right, cool. You stole everything I had. You stole from me. You got to believe that the Job in you is going to get the abundance double time. There is a Job in you as well. Just like there's a Noah in us. We're going to have to avoid the floods that's going to come our way. That's what the Bible is telling us. All of these things are going to happen in our lives. Thank goodness. Thank God for the Bible, because we have to prepare for any and every situation. Even this one. Somebody's going to hate and doubt you and steal from you and make you look like try to make you look like a dirty dog when you're the cleanest dog in the pound. You are a winner. And no matter what they steal from you, you still will overcome and be a winner. That's just the goal. We ain't got time to give these people energy to fight against them. We got to fight against the gift that you're trying to harvest from me. And I'm going to win that because you can't know it better than me in the first place. You know what I mean? And so that's the message that I have, that even when somebody takes your birthright, you still know what it is better than that person that's trying to manipulate it. You still can overcome and still use that birthright in your favor and allow it to be great and still be blessed with another blessing
of a birthright that you didn't know that you had in the storehouse. But you do get a chance to build the boat. You do, exactly. You build the boat for yourself, and you're going to be able to overcome the floods of attack that's coming your way. It will flood the entire world, but you will survive. You will overcome that. You will be victorious even in a losing situation. You made the best out of this bad situation. Somebody stole your gift, but the greatness in you can overcome every obstacle coming your way. Does it hurt that somebody stole from you? Absolutely. Does it hurt the fact that your kin, your sibling, your loved one is trying to destroy you at the same time? Of course it does. But it does not mean that your greatness need to be withheld. You give it that time of need, you grieve it. Let's just grieve it for what it is. It's a loss. You grieve it, all right. You put your sackcloth on, you fast for a second, and now it's time for you to become the greater you that you already know that you are, and allow that, charge that to the game. That's how the street people say it, charge it to the game. Whether we understand it or not, there are people playing in a spiritual game with us. There are people playing an emotional game with us, a physical game with us. But we are victorious no matter what hand is dealt to us. You know what I mean? I just want people to understand that even if you lose your birthright to the morsels of the world, you can always regain and become victorious at the end of the day. East Dad, good afternoon. I don't know why I keep saying good morning because I started about an hour ago. But that's the thing. We have to understand that greatness is within us. And people will do anything to eclipse your greatness. They will eclipse your shine. They will eclipse your gift. They will eclipse your love. All because they don't want you to share it. They want it for them damn selves. They want you for you and them alone. They don't want to be a team player. They want to be an individual. But they got to understand there's no I in team. There's no I in greatness. There's a sacrifice that needs to be made in order to become great. There's a sacrifice that needs to be made to get your birthright into activity. You gotta sacrifice your flesh for the inner glory or the inner soul that needs to come out of you in the first place. That's why beauty is always from the inside out, not the outside in. Glory comes from within you. Blessings come from within you. Love comes from within you. Your birthright comes from within you and then shines out. But if people see it before you, they'll do whatever they can to stop it before it even gets started. And that's the situation. It happens to the best of us because when we're great, someone will want to stop our greatness. Someone may want to stop my message. The doorbell rang and somebody tried to stop me from having a message, but they don't know they became a blessing because they gave me energy to keep going forward. They blessed me with their negative energy because we are the type of people that can turn negative into positive. We can always make the best out of a bad situation. That's part of your birthright as well. That's part of your gift as well. So we have to understand that no matter what their harm is, that they will not win. The victory shall always be ours. So I would like to, sit here and thank everybody that came through. I that's really been on my soul. And the fact of the matter is that, we will become victorious. We will continue to be a blessing. We will accomplish the mission, the goal that God has allowed us to see in ourselves. We are going to finish the race. We are going to be victorious. We are going to overcome whatever storm that comes through. We are victorious. I am victorious. You are a winner. I am a winner. The I am affirmation truly work. We just got to apply it into our everyday life. So with that being said, I thank you guys for stopping by. I hope that it has touched somebody. I hope somebody understands that your birthright will always belong to you, even if someone steals it. Because when it's taken from you not of your own doing, the birthright will come back to you double fold. So let's just take that. Let's have a great afternoon. Let's get ready. If you are into the Christianity, let's get ready to celebrate what the message of Good Friday is and Easter is supposed to be. Not the paganistic way, but what it's supposed to be in your life. You have to understand your divine will and not your permissive will is what's going to get you over the top. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But until then, I'll holler at everybody. I'm gone.